Number 5, page 270. Write an algebraic expression that Marshall can use to determine the cost of buying a watermelon that weighs W pounds and some tomatoes that weigh T pounds. How much will it cost to buy a watermelon that weighs 18.5 pounds and 5 pounds of tomatoes? Well, we're just going to look at our proportion table to see how this continues to help us find a constant of proportionality. And it's telling us that the tomatoes are $3.25 a pound. So that means that if we have 2 pounds, we would have $6.50 that it would cost us. And if we had 3 pounds, it would be $9.75. And you can see that each time we're adding $3.25 per pound. Because that's the cost per pound. So when we get over to column 4, when we have 4 pounds of tomatoes, we can simply take $3.25 and multiply it by 4, or we can add the $3.25 to $9.75 and get our answer here of $13. And then add another $3.25 and we get $13.25. Same thing for the watermelon. The watermelon is costing 68 cents a pound, so it's definitely much cheaper than the tomatoes. And if we have 2 pounds of watermelon, we would double that, and that would give us $1.36 for 2 pounds. And then we can see this is an increase each time of 0 68 per pound. And if we just keep adding 68 to each previous quantity, we can see that we'll have $2.04 here, and then we'll have $2.72 there. And when we add 68 cents a pound for 5 pounds, it would cost $3.40. So on each one of these, we are increasing by 68 hundredths each time. And that is the same as 68 cents. In this proportion table, this is the constant of proportionality. Constant because it's the same. Proportionality because these ratios up above, this ratio and this ratio and this ratio, all simplify to the same ratio, which is 1 to 68 hundredths. And if I divided it out using my constant of proportionality equation and substituted in my y values for the top, the first term, and my x values for the second term, I would come out with 68 hundredths each time. If I have 1 36 hundredths divided by 2, I get 68 hundredths again. If I take my third ratio and take $2.04 and divide it by 3, which is my x value, I will get 0 68 hundredths. So that means that for my watermelon, this is my coefficient. And if I want to find out any number of pounds, even if it's a fraction amount, I can take this coefficient and multiply it by the number of pounds that the watermelon weighs. So when we write our expression for the watermelon in terms of the number of pounds that it weighs, they tell us to use W for pounds of watermelon, I suppose because it begins with W. I can take my coefficient and put it right in front of that W, and I'll be able to put any number of pounds in and find out what my cost is. I can do the same thing for my pounds of tomatoes, which they want us to use T for. When I divide each of these ratios out using my equation to find the constant, I find that each time 3 and 25 divided by 1, 6 and 50 divided by 2, I can talk about these in terms of money, $9.75 divided by 3, I get $3.25 every single time. So no matter how many pounds of tomatoes I want to buy, if I use this times the number of pounds, I can get my cost. So $3.25 times T, that's not a plus sign, that's a T, will give me my cost for my tomatoes. And my question wants me to find the total cost. So this is my expression for finding the total cost of any number of pounds of watermelon and any number of pounds of tomatoes. Now, the second part of this problem does give me a certain number of pounds of watermelon. It says, well, how much will it cost to buy a watermelon that weighs 18.5 pounds and 5 pounds of tomatoes? So I can just go into my expression. This is my watermelon. It represents, the W represents my number of pounds, and it's telling me that I have an 18.5 pound watermelon. And because I'm using decimals here, I'm going to change that into decimal format. So that's how I can find out how much my watermelon will cost. And then my tomatoes, it is telling me that I have 5 pounds of my tomatoes. So I'm going to multiply 5 times $3.25 and add those together, and then I'll have the total cost for this one watermelon and these 5 pounds of tomatoes. So this is where I use my calculator. 6/800 times 18.5. I get $12.58. And then I'm going to add, or first I'm going to determine this quantity. $3.25 times 5 is going to give me $16.25. And now I can combine them and find out how much my total cost would be. So I'm going to add $12.58 to my answer, and it says my total cost would be $28.83.